text tutorials that just throw a billion things at you and just... expect you to read it all. Like, no thanks, I'll pass. I'll pass on the wall of text tutorial. I'm over it. Yeah, but how many freaking selections? Like, just because it's interactive doesn't mean it make it better when it says, here's 500 menu selections. Let's just go through them systematically. It's the same thing as a wall of text tutorial. Just because it gives you an opportunity to use it doesn't make it good. It still like starts off the game and expects you to like have a freaking dissertation, 7-year degree, masters in the freaking in the game. It's just like it's stupid. I don't want to take a full course of Star Ocean 4 before I play it. Teach it to me as I go intuitively. Oh, fairy heal. Nights of the Nightmare? Oh my god, these things again. I actually have that game. I played it a little bit. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. We're gonna run out of resurrection bottles just because every time I get into this encounter, I lose half of them. Having a lot of tutorials is one thing. Throwing them all at you right at the beginning and just expecting you to pick it all up and memorize the entire bullshit of it all the way through the game until you get to the part where you actually use it is another thing. Like Final Fantasy 13, surprisingly, as much as people want to give it shit, actually did tutorials well. They offer you a small amount of information that you can utilize as you go through the next level, and then let you experience it and test it, and then they let you do it again. And then same with Xenoblade Chronicles. They did tutorials wonderfully. They give you a small little bit of information, let you test it out, advance the story, do a couple cutscenes, let you fight some things, repeat, and it's super intuitive. It's natural, is what I mean. It feels good. It feels like you can test it and actually use it. It's good. It's just good. All right, what I need to do is. Yeah, not to mention, like, when you start a game, you want to play it, you want to experience it, and if it just throws you into the world, like, all right, here we go, now, do the, oh my god, are you serious? Do this huge-ass tutorial, and you just like, I just want to play the game, you know? I just want to play the game. But it's like, nope, gotta do this tutorial first, if you want to understand how to play the game, that is. Otherwise, you can just suffer with not knowing. Ha 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 ha. But that's not the point, man. Like, you're not gonna be able to remember it. 99% of the world is not gonna be able to remember all the things that a wall of tutorials throws at you. You're gonna remember a very small amount of it, and you're just gonna stick to what you feel works. But if you teach things to them one at a time, like it's like going into a classroom. It's like going into a math classroom and saying, all right, today we're gonna cover pages 1 through 500. I hope you have your perfect memory ready, you know? No, you don't cover pages 1 through 500. You go into a classroom, you cover pages, 1 and 2. And then the next classroom, you cover pages 3 and 4. You know, maybe sometimes you go back and study page 1 and 2, but no, you don't throw everything at the freaking player right out of the gate. You're not gonna remember anything. I remember Devil May Cry 4 being really good. I remember enjoying it quite a bit, but it was a while ago since I played it, so I don't remember the tutorial. It's just so stupid, dude. I can't even imagine actually being able to beat those things, because of the amount of MP that I would need just to get through the fight is ridiculous. Do I have a res spell yet? Nope. So I'm just gonna run out of resurrect bottles just from random encounters murdering me. That probably opens up the door. Yeah, they're optional, of course, sure. That doesn't really forgive it though, because like, if you want to learn how to play the game at a deeper level, you want to see everything that the game has to offer and try to master it. But if it just throws everything at you at the beginning and you choose to skip it, and then you have to like choose to go back, or you know, can't go back to learn it again, I don't know. There's not a lot of like drive to do that kind of thing. Strawberry jalapeno salsa actually sounds really good. I love it whenever there's one enemy left, they just watch me beat on it. Like, they just don't help. They're just like, ah, you got it, man. I'm gonna run out of res bottles. I'd also like to point out that they basically get on my ass immediately, and I can't do anything about it. They just jump me, and I have no chance to actually not die there whatsoever. So fucking dumb. Oh, I could beat them up if I spammed all my spells and used all my MP every time I encountered them. There's that. We already went through here though. This just leads back. The worst part about this is that, like, getting out of here to, like, restore my pots and stuff is a huge undertaking. It would be a long trip out of here to restore my resurrection pots and stuff. Very long. Actually, I don't even know if I can get out of here, to be honest. I might be stuck. Wow, my biology is actually very low and I have a lot of HP. Actually, I should definitely level up this one first. I am lost. I mean, that's fine, I don't care. I'm not gonna be able to answer the question. I barely remember anything about that game as far as content goes. I pretty much mostly just did the story. I tried to do a couple side quests. They were finding the airship. I found... Yeah. I'm pretty sure you have to. Like as in, you know, from your school you can fly out to certain places. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Totally fair! Out of resurrection bottles. I can use these. That's it. So I'm just boned at this point. And I'm probably gonna get a game over. I guess I just have to leave and just come back. It's the only way to keep what the progress that I've made. Again, I did very few side quests because they were terrible. Missed the Gilgamesh fight. I mean, if the game wasn't encouraging me enough to want to do side content, you know, it's not really missed. If it's like, I don't really count it as. Are you serious? Are you serious? Oh my fucking god, dude. What even is this? Well, I played the PS4 remaster, so I don't know if that means anything different. Oh, cool. Well, here's the game over, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, surprisingly, the other two just did nothing. You gonna run? Just get comboed to death. God, what is up with those enemies? Who the fuck decided that was a good idea? It's okay, it's only gonna be like half an hour just to get back to town and buy resurrection bottles and res everybody. And another half hour to get back. Because it's a really cool idea to just throw enemies that are invincible except for huge amounts of magic damage and one-shot your entire team, you know? And immune to physical. If you're gonna make a physical immune enemy that completely like wrecks your face, it should have very little HP so you can kill it quickly. But instead it has as much HP as all those enemies that I've been killing and also has immunity to physical and does a ton of damage. More damage than anything else, by the way, in the entire dungeon by a huge amount. I have been enjoying it up until that enemy type, but it's such a Star Ocean thing, dude. It's such a Star Ocean thing. Every time I play a Star Ocean game, I really enjoy it until there's this one enemy that just like totally ruins it, and it just makes you aggravated, you know. And it's like you could just get lucky and not get that enemy, but nope, it's every Star Ocean game. There's always one enemy that just ruins everything. Every time. It's kind of funny how like every battle can be soloed by Edge, and then you get into those blue dudes and it's like, well, good luck, you know? Like, right? Like, that's the difference. I'm sitting here mashing A, soloing every fight with Edge by himself, and then you get those other enemy types and it's just like, there's no chance of winning. There's no hope. Just run away and hope for the best. That's the difference. That's the freaking difference. It's a huge difference, you know? Have I got any good special attacks? Yeah, but you can only equip 2 skills per range, so I have that one, right? And I have this one, but it takes so long to cast, and it kind of sucks. And then there's this one, and there's this one. Those are my normal skills, but they're not all that great. Well, I don't know what to tell you, man. I've looked at my skill list and equipped the best skills that I can find. No, Dragon War sucks. It has this huge animation. It forces you to be a certain distance away from the enemy, and it doesn't do very much damage. So no, Dragon War's garbage. It actually has gotten me killed a lot of times because you have to be X amount of pixels away from the enemy to use it. So if the enemy's moving around or you're caught in a corner, you keep just getting knocked around and pushed away or trying to chase the enemy or get in the right position before you can use it, and you just die instead. Dragon War is doo-doo. I tried using it. I just think it's funny how I can solo fight every single battle in this dungeon with Edge, no problem. But you get those like physical immune dudes that murder you, and suddenly, you know, it's a big ass problem. It just goes to show you how overly tuned they are. I tried fighting them too. I was spamming all of my laser pew pew beams and nothing. They just wouldn't die. They just had too much HP. I made it out of that part. Now I have to exit all of this dungeon. Yeah, I remember reading about all the different difficulty modes in the spoiler channel. Two dungeons, the world and the world map, until I can get back to town. The XP here is really bad too. It's like 1/5 of what I was getting in the other dungeon. Oversight or intentional design? I want to say intentional to expand game time. Because if you think about it, it kind of feels like we're reaching the end of the game, but I only have 13 hours played. I can't think of a single good SNES RPG that has ridiculous backtracking. Like the worst backtracking you get in FF6 is going back to Narsh, but it sends you through a different cave entirely with different monsters and different designs. Breath of Fire 1? Breath of Fire 2 has some decent backtracking, but it's honestly not even that bad. Like, it's just world map backtracking, you know, which is really not that big of a deal. But like, again, almost every good RPG that I can think of does not have any backtracking at all. It has like a little bit of lack of direction maybe, but not insane backtracking, no. Also, this isn't required backtracking. This is, although the game has like been 80% backtracking, that much is true. This is not required backtracking. This is me getting bested by a ridiculously OP enemy and having to go back to town to recover because the overtuning was obnoxiously stupid. So technically not backtracking, just bad balance design. But yeah, let's name some of the good RPGs of yesteryear that actually have substantial backtracking. The only one I can think of is Breath of Fire 2, and it's honestly not even that bad. It's mostly just world map backtracking you gotta do. I can't think of any. Yeah, I can't think of anything. Even Final Fantasy 1 doesn't even have backtracking. Like when you get the airship, you gotta go back to some previous towns to talk to some NPCs. Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger has backtracking, sort of, but not really. Like, you go back to previous areas to get to different dungeons, but it's usually not having to go through the same dungeon at all. Like, I used to speedrun Chrono Trigger, so I know exactly where to go at every given time. And there's no point where, like, you have to do the same dungeon twice or go through the same area and fight the same enemies, except for, like, when you want to go to, the forest area, the first portal you go into has like 3 enemies, but you only have to fight one of them to get back to your portal, and that's it. Guardian Forest, you can avoid every single enemy in the forest, so that's not really that big of a deal. Not to mention, even if you did have to fight everything, it's like 3 enemies on the way. It just... That's not even that big of a deal. That's minor. It's small. It's tiny. It's not significant, which is the whole point, right? Significant backtracking. Everyone has their own definition of good RPG. Listen, there's such a thing as a good and a bad RPG. Whether you like it or not is your opinion. Cough, cough, lightning returns. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, yes, there is such a thing as a good or a bad RPG. Opinions do not make for good or bad games. Design does. Hello, I would like 1 resurrection, please. Oh, Servo, that was a tier 2 sub, man. Thank you very much for the mega support. I didn't even notice it. What the freaking heck? Why is my brain dumb? Why am my brain dumb? Thank you, Servo. That was a tier 2 mega support. I appreciate that, dude. Thank you. If you're still here, hopefully. This is also the bar. I need an item shop. I'm not with it today. I'm like freaking out of it, dude. Oh, this heals. I should just buy a bunch. Alright. Awesome, we get to play Find the Item Shop that actually sells resurrection bottles. My favorite minigame.